Neha and welcome to our channel Physio for you. Now today we are going to discuss about the work-related musculoskeletal disorder. Now what is this work-related musculoskeletal disorder? Everybody of us is some or the other occupation. I am a physio, somebody is working in IT, somebody is working as a housewife, somebody is teacher, somebody is having a standing job in factories. So everybody is in different occupations, so their work challenges is different, their work type is different, their work culture is different. So as we are doing it since long, so many years, it affects our body in some or the other ways. Or if you are, what are the factors that affects it is like the force of the movement, the repetition of the movement, the posture we are holding. If we are not taking necessary care while doing that work, like the poor work habits are there, or the poor health habits are there, poor fitness level is there. So all this affects our body, but our work type, our work culture, or the stress, it remains the same. So what happens, our muscles get fatigued very easily and very faster. So if the fatigue is more and the recovery is not there, the balance is not there. And the muscles are not getting recovered, but the fatigue is coming over and over again, which leads to such disorders. Now how does it start? First, when we are younger, the body, the fitness level is much better. But if we are not maintaining our posture, if we are not maintaining our fitness level or the work habits, what happens is that the stress on the particular muscles, according to your work, it comes over and over again, which leads to the fatigue, which leads to the disorder, right? So it starts with the hazard. You start feeling the discomfort there. You start pressing the joint or the muscle over and over again. Then while doing or bending in that joint, you get pain. Sometimes what happens, we ignore it. We take any painkiller or we put some ointment, we take the hot fomentation, and then we feel better and we feel that okay, this is recovered. But that can be the initial stage, right? So after some days it happens again. Then you do the same thing. After some days it happens again and you feel that now it is not getting recovered, and then you start thinking that something is getting wrong. So what happens is that the symptoms are getting aggravated there. Then sometimes what happens, the spasm is there is a stiffness in the joint because we start avoiding those movements which are painful. Then there can be the tingling in the hands or the legs or the back. Then there can be the difficulty in movements. Then which leads to the decrease in the strength, decrease in the coordination. Then there is a loss of joint movements, or what we can say there is a reduced range of motion of that particular joint. So what we have to see is that you have to consider these signs and symptoms when these are in the initial stages only. If you take the treatment in that same stage when the pain has started, the treatment is much easier. What happens is that these disorders, they just don't come in one day. Other than the fractures or the injuries after the fall or any emergency or the accidents, all these disorders, as there is a process for the recovery, there is a process for this disorder also. And it starts with the pain or the discomfort. If it is getting neglected, it leads to such disorders. But if we take the proper care or the treatment at the initial stage, it gets recovered faster and the recurrence also is avoidable. And if you maintain those with exercises or the stretches and proper postures, I think it is good for you because you will be able to maintain your quality of life also. So what are the risk factors that you need to consider about it is a major risk factor is the repetition. Means you have to assess your work, what type of work you are having, what are the movements that are getting repetitively you have to do it, and where you are having pain because of that. Then what is the aggravating factor, what is the relieving factor, means what is the movement, which movement it gives you pain more, and what is the movement or what is the position that you take, the pain gets recovered. So you have to consider that also. Then the contact stress, what we say is that the body is, if you are having a sitting job, your elbow is getting pressed over and over again. So you start getting tenderness over here, which then leads to the tingling. Then the grip strength is getting reduced. This is just an example, but you can consider accordingly that what is the stress which is coming on that body part, right? Then sometimes people have visual fatigue also. Like if you are working in IT and you are sitting for more of the time in the front of a screen, your visual fatigue is there, which leads to the neck pain because if there is a stress on your neck muscles also. There are very these small points you have to consider. Then other than that, what the points you need to consider is your age, then your weight, then your physical fitness level, then your other major illnesses there other than like BP or diabetes, because in diabetes also the people are tend to get the shoulder pain and the stiffness in the shoulder also. So how to reduce this risk factors is, first is you need to take care, and while working you need to assess your posture first, then your work habits you need to correct, then you need to see the pain if you are getting it, and if you take the proper steps in the initial stages, it is easier to take the treatment, because you just need to learn some exercises, some stretches, and how to hold a proper posture, and it is easier. But if you ignore those symptoms, what happens is that you need the treatment protocol differs, right? Then you need to take the mobilization, there is some myofascial release, needling you have to do, taping, some electrotherapy modalities also you need to take, and the treatment becomes a longer, or sometimes it becomes a tedious job, and you need to take sometimes rest also to get the pain and the inflammation getting reduced. See, there is so much difference between the initial stage and the later stage. So it's always better to take the steps at the initial stage, and you work much better than the physio in these cases, because you are working, you are holding your posture, you are changing your work habits, right? And physios are there to help you to relieve the pain, to understand what are the posture or what are the things you are doing wrong, then how to correct it, how to maintain it, right? But if you maintain it properly later, I think the recurrence rate will be much less, and the quality of life will also be better. Now, if you still ignore those symptoms, I don't think so it is going to give you any good results. Other than that, what will happen is that it can lead to something like the weakness of the joint, weakness of the muscle. So there will be the struggle to recover. Then it can lead to painful surgeries also. Then it can lead to quality of life, because if you are having constant back pain or the neck pain or leg pain, foot pain, whatever it is, you will be under some stress. So the quality of life is also gets differed, right? So in the next video we will be talking about this, like how to hold the correct posture while working. So we have to study the ergonomics, right? So ergonomics is something that you have to work the environment, your work environment. We have to study that. Where you are working, so how to make changes there, like if you are in the IT, if you are sitting for a longer time, your chair, your desk, your screen distance, so everything we will advise you. If you are working in the kitchen, according to your the platform height, the distance from the tap, so we will have to consider that also. So in the next video we will be discussing about that, but for now what you have to do is you just need to see where you are having pain, then you need to assess it from where you are getting that pain. What is the aggravating factor? What is the movement which is giving you relief from that pain? And you need to see the posture also. Okay, so just consider it, and we will see in the next video what are the things that you can do it at your home while doing at the work, so that will help you to get rid of that pain. Thank you so much.